Hello, I'm here with the last part on the painting tutorial on Belakor, and this is the part that I will do all the remaining details. I will work again on the schools. I will do the different leather parts, like this type of things, and I will do the handle of the sword. So I will start doing the leather parts, and to do the leather parts, this time I will use XV88. It's quite a light brown, and no lot of mystery here. Just apply this on all the different belts and leather parts that you think the miniature have. I use this one because it's clear and it will be more visible all over the dark miniature. So you see here, for example, what I will do is I put the brush sideways and I just go on top of the leather, and I will keep doing the same for all the different belts that especially these ones here at the back of the armor plates. So just I will paint them. So no more to say. I will. So you see here, I will paint all the different belts, the one at the front, and I will be back once I finish with that. So this is how the belts are looking after applying XV88. I will not work more on them because I want to do white, but at the same time I want to do the gold and do the white on the gold. So what I will do now, I will paint the gold parts on the sword using Balthasar gold. So this is Balthasar gold from Games Workshop, and I will paint the arrow here, the top here of the handle, here at the back. I have to say that while I'm painting now the details, I am still working a little bit from time to time on the blue parts. If I see that I miss some part or I want to increase the highlight in other parts, so I keep touching the parts that I did before if I think that the work was not as I like it. So in that way I keep improving the whole miniature at the same time. So I also did a couple of spikes that I missed on the previous stages. So this is quite often happening. So if you see some other changes, it's because sometimes I'm trying to repaint parts that I was not happy, or I was doing some. So just if I see any defect or any miss that I did before, I'm just taking care of that. Maybe it's losing more time, but I prefer to do that because if not, at the end I'm pretty sure that I will forget. So I don't want to leave this miss untouched, and normally I do the correction while I'm in the middle of doing all these details. So this is, as you see, this color, it works very well on top of black. Need to do a little bit more on the arrow on the right. This color I apply Balthasar gold, but later on I will apply, as you will see, clearer golds. I use this because it's a very base color, especially when you prime with black. If you want to do gold or brass colors, it's highly recommended that first you apply a layer of Balthasar gold or a layer of brown. This will help you a lot to put the next color on black. If you try to apply, for example, if I want to go directly to auric gold, that is the one that I want to go, it's going to be very hard if I don't do this layer first. So now what I will do is I will use Camry Brown to do the other part of the handle. Okay, so I will paint this in that Camry Brown. Okay, and I see that I missed some of the part with Balthasar gold, so I will go back and paint this part. So this here, we have to be careful because here I leave. So you see this black line, it's part of the, can go lower. Okay. Okay. Just to be sure that I fully paint everything. So now I will take first, before auric, I will paint Gehenna's gold. And this I will cover completely Balthasar gold, because Balthasar I just use it as a base for the gold part, and now I will paint this on top. This is reddish, more reddish gold, slightly more clear. So the previous color was just to ensure that this paint is working well. Here I will do the arrow. And the front arrow. Okay. Now we will wait a little bit until this dry, and in the meantime I will paint all the skulls that we have on this miniature. So I will go back. If you remember, the skulls, the base color I used for the skulls was Usbati brown, then I did a Seraphim sepia wash, and now I will apply again Usbati brown to like cleaning the wash, to make it to paint on the most prominent areas. So this is going to be I want to make the skulls a little bit cleaner and look less brownish. So I will go through all the schools and reapply Uzbati bone. So as you see here, I will do for all the schools. I think I will do this off camera. I did one. I will do this one also too, but the rest I will do off camera because make no sense to is repeating the same operation each time. So you see, so I will keep applying Uzbati bone on all the different schools. This is how the schools now look like after applying Uzbati bone. See, are much clearer and much clean now. So next I will go back to the sod and I will apply now Auric Gold. And this time I will apply this, so in the case of the arrow, I will apply this directly on the arrow. When the arrow is popping on top of this dark sod or dark blade. Okay. I will go down. Then here at the bottom of the sod I will do the edges first. And I will paint also the edges of this part. This part here of the sod on the back arrow. Go lower in that one. So you can see this edge. Then here. So this will have to look like. Now keep working on the sod. I will use Aglax Air Shade and I will do a wash on the brown part. Right. And I will take Seraphim Sepia and I will apply Seraphim Sepia on the golden parts. Here it is. Check it well. I will apply this on the golden parts. And as well here at the top. Now we have to wait until this dries, so I leave him here and I will wait until the washes are dry before keep working. So the wash now is dry, and what I'm going to do, I will use Auric Gold again, and I will try to have a good definition of the arrow here. So I will make sure that the arrow is well visible, it's very visible, and it's sharp. Okay, same on the other side. And I will use black just to be sure that, because here I see that put a little bit of gold out of the arrow, so just to be sure that that is not blurry. Okay, here as well. So then I think I will take again Camry Brown with Camry Brown. I will increase the, will apply a little bit, I will hit the handle again. Okay, and then here the only thing remaining, if you want, I will mix Kimmery Brown with a little bit of Rackard Flesh. Okay, and then I will do this will do. Good job. The shot I will consider finished at this stage. Okay, so now I will work a little bit on the leather belts strips that I did before. I will use now Valor Brown, it's quite a yellowish brown. I will do some soft highlights in some of the parts to break the uniformity of the color. So for example here, the idea here is to break a little bit the uniformity and highlight some of the parts as well here. For example, I will do from this top to the bottom a little bit, and that's all. That way it will look less uniform. Right. So at this stage the miniature is almost done. What I will do next, I will glue the miniature on the base, and yeah, this is piece of wood and this is resin, so we need to use super glue. So as you can see now, the Belakor is completely glued on the base, and now what I'm doing is with the Lorthen blue, I'm doing some more highlights on the skin and trying to pop up some of the parts. Like for example on the hand, I'm trying to make, for example, this part of the finger more visible. Try to give more volume to the miniature. What I've been done up to now is, you see here, I'm trying to, on the wing, do some highlights to make the wing more visible and also make all the texture more exaggerated. For example here, where you have this type of things that are sectioned, what I do is I start from the top and I let it fade out. Do the same, top, fading out. Or around the holes, in some holes I just add a little bit of touch of this color. As you can see here, these two, trying to see where I see that the skin is stretched to make it lighter. So I'm working and trying to pick up some of the details that are sculpted on the miniature, try to make them more visible, trying to make use of the different textures and the different details to make the miniature richer, not have more volume and make the miniature more liveful. So for example here, you have to be careful not to put too much of this color because it's very light compared to the black. But this extreme highlight is helping to make to show more the details of the miniature, because this miniature have a lot of small details and a lot of texture on the wings, on the skin, on all the different parts, and I think it's worth it to dedicate time to make this part more visible. I will be working with that and also with Macvash blue, that was the two blues that I used before. Keep working on the skin now that I have more details and I have more global vision of the whole miniature, and just do a second round of highlighting on the skin. So as I said before, or I think in some of the previous videos, sometimes you go back and forth in some colors, because when you start doing the other parts, then you can detect mistakes on the previous parts that you did, and I think it's worth it to dedicate time to make these mistakes, or maybe to make some parts even more visible. For example, here in the torso I will do very soft touch as well. The other side is done. So just try to make it everything more even. Be sure that I did the same type of highlights, for example, in both knees, the same type of highlight, or at least to go to the same level, not leaving one part darker than the other. So this is what has been done. The tail also, be sure, for example, here the end of the tail, I think I will add light blue, for example, and then I will use the macrash and I will blend it. That way. So just know that the miniature is all assembled. Is try to make some parts even more visible. Okay, so this is now pretty happy. For example, here it's like a hunting and looking around and spending some time. Especially this is important when it's your center, the one of the most important pieces, and a demon prince that it's going to be most of the times your warlord or one of the main characters in your army deserves some attention, especially if the miniature is nice and is well done as this one. So as you see, I will be doing this for a little bit longer, and then I will put the video back to show how I finalize the whole miniature. So now I did these extra highlights on the skin, and I will keep working on the details. Here there is some hair that I painted before, so I will use first downstone gray to pick up these hairs here. It's hair from these skulls, or like I don't, well, it looks like a hair here or something hanging. So I will do this gray. I paint this one, and here there is some more of this. Okay, I will do, while this is drying, I will do very soft highlight with Valley Witch Flesh on the skulls. This is almost white, so I will do just some like bright, so then put something like that, then here, for example, just a little bit on here on this cheek and here at the top. This one I will do this. Here we'll paint the A. And I will do this. Right. So you don't need to do too much of with that white. It's just some soft highlights, and that's all. For this we will highlight the nose. There's one here. This part. And this one's here. As you see, I'll try to do very little with that white. Yes. And that's all. Right? Then on the hair that I did here, I will do some highlights with very light yellow. I will use Administratum Grey. So I will paint this hair. And the last thing I will do these parts a wash with Nude Oil. So we need to wait a little bit that this dry before doing. So I'm going to use Nude Oil. I will use it in two parts. So I will use Nude Oil here to because around this type of rivets that there are spikes that this thing have. Just to make them more visible, darkening a little bit this shyness. And here I will do another, a little bit also on these armor plates. Here on this recess I will add a little bit more of Nude Oil to add some volume to this part. Here where we have the fold I will add a little bit. Following here, just when and at the bottom of, so just to give a little bit more volume to, more texture to this. Not too much because I want to keep the shyness that I have. We'll do the same here. especially this part that is completely bumped. And next, so just it's a way to emphasize the falls and the different decoration that they put on these armor plates. They have not too much. Okay. And then the last part I will put here again, this hair, to be sure that is not too, I don't want this to pop up too much, just I wanted to pick up the detail but leave it dark. I want that the skin is the predominant part or the main part on the demon. So, and I think that's all for Belakor. I will give it done here. Just last touch, I will paint the base, this part of the base, and will be done. So just here I want to do final record on Belakor. As you can see, I consider no finish. I paint the base, it's still drying, but this is how it's looking like. This is the symbol of chaos that I wanted to paint, like glowing sod with this type of magma effect or lava effect. Then the wings is a nice model to paint. I enjoy it a lot. Have a lot of small details. There's a lot of spikes, nails, and you open a lot of possibilities. I paint these like dark colors. Also, I see some paint with reddish color that they look pretty well. So this is what it's looking like. If you do demons, at least I recommend this miniature. You can use it as if you don't want to use Belakor, you can use it as a demon priest. It's quite a nice one. Put on a stone if you want him to be higher, because he's a little bit shorter than the other demon princes. It's a miniature that was sculpted a while ago by Games Workshop. It's not a new miniature sculpted by Games Workshop. So that's all. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and see you again later. Bye.